I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
I'm ready for this one.
Me too, man.
I'm excited.
All right. Before we really get started,
I'll try and calm down. Yeah,
it's okay.
We got other things to do. I'm sorry.
Let's go ahead and get the socials out of the way.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want to find us, you can find us on Instagram. That's going to be at Kentucky Fried Critics. And if you want to find us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Kentucky Fried Critics. Both of those you can just search for the name. You don't have to use the URLs. Next one you're going to go for is YouTube. That's where it gets a little tricky because we did not get that one first. Someone was already using it. Hopefully it is a defunct one. Hopefully they will be
Nobody's used it for
kicked
years.
off the account soon and we can just have that. But that one for right now is just going to be youtube.com/@KFCritics.
It's close enough for now, I guess.
It's good.
I'll accept it.
It's what we can do. Then we have our website. The website, of course.
The hyphens.
That's right. The hyphens coming from Acast, the people that are hosting our podcast for
Thanks,
us. So
guys.
we can't forget them. Yeah. So it's shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
Hyphens.
Lots of hyphens. And then again, that's just a little bit of the hyphens. Don't forget the episode titles go in. And there's even more hyphens. Tons of hyphens. If you guys are going to type that out, I suggest you just click on the links. I try to make sure they're posted with everything.
I'm serious. I want a hyphen t-shirt. Just like a bright neon
I mean,
orange
we can make it for you.
with a big hyphen on it.
Oh, I thought you just wanted the word. Like hyphens. Plural.
Plural?
Hyphens.
That's better, actually. Just across the top. Hyphens.
Yeah, hyphens.
People are going to look at me and go,
What?
why? I'm like, hyphens are important, man.
You don't know?
You don't know? And then walk away.
You're not in the know. And then move on. I like it.
Like it's some secret group I'm in.
But so that's all of our. And then I guess lastly, our email. If you want to send out a message directly to us, the email is going to be KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com.
There you go.
All spelled out.
If you're one of those people.
Hey, I mean, people might want to send us episode ideas.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's right.
We told them that we don't want them to do that on socials because other people see that.
I forgot.
It's a better idea to email those to us.
That was
This is episode 8, which officially means we've been doing this for 2 months, guys.
right.
2 months.
Yeah, we persevered.
We got this.
Right, a lot of podcasts end.
We got a lot of people that are, a lot of friends that are big, loyal listeners.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you,
we
guys.
really appreciate that.
we
For
love
everybody that listens through the whole episodes, you guys are the best.
But yeah, so we're super excited about that. We're super excited to keep going with our spooky Halloween celebration for the month of October.
The best month. I don't care what anybody says.
So we'll just go ahead and get into it, Bo. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking 3 Floyds again. Zombie Ice Undead Double Pale Ale.
That's right. This time it's Zombie Ice. Last time we did Zombie Dust. Don't forget for Night of the Comet. We promised you that this one would link up just as well as we think Zombie Dust did for that one. So what are we watching?
We're watching Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead.
That's right. This is the second one in the series.
There's the first one.
Yeah.
But it's I couldn't find a dubbed English version.
Yeah, it's all in Norwegian.
And I pay more attention to the subtitles than I do the movie, so I can have a hard time doing that.
That's fine.
So
this one's better anyway because it's more accessible for people listening, right? If they've never seen it and they want to go back and watch either before to know what we're talking about, or if they get interested from what we're talking about and want to go see it. I feel like the second one is a better place for them to maybe start from
and then go back and watch
the first one if they are interested enough.
Yeah,
because
again, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch this. I've never seen the first one.
No, I've never seen either of these.
One.
This is the first movie where neither one of us have actually seen it.
That's right. Neither one of us have seen this one. Every other movie we've done, at least one of us have seen.
Yeah, at least one of them.
Most of the movies we've done, both of us have seen
a bunch of times.
Yeah, so this is the first time we're getting a completely candid take. It's going to be a fun ride, guys.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be great. I'm excited for this one.
Before we even get started, I'm going to say this was a phenomenal movie.
Yes, it was. This was fantastic.
It is squarely in the world of comedy
horror.
Yeah, comedy horror. It is like in the vein of Shaun of the Dead being comedy horror. So not like
Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. So not over the top like jokes,
But like
the kind of gore is funny because it's like over the top, silly ridiculousness, kind of slapsticky in
bit.
the gore. Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, that's gross and awful, but it's still like,
yeah, and for some reason
it's so over the top.
Gets me
it gives you
like,
a pop.
yeah, a straight like
you're just like
chuckle straight from the gut every time. Right?
There's a bunch of that in this movie. I
Yeah.
laughed so many times.
But so like we've said, it's the sequel. So the first one was a completely Norwegian release, right? Like from Norway. Came out in 2009. So that's why again you're mainly not. You won't even find dubs. Usually it's just going to be straight
find one
subtitled.
anywhere.
Yeah. Now that being said, that first one did so well that 5 years later they made a sequel
With a bigger budget.
with a wider audience.
Yeah.
So it was definitely made for an American audience because it is all in English.
All in English this time.
Well, not all.
Well, no, you don't want the German speaking English.
Let's go ahead and just drop the reveal, right? So this is a
Nazi zombie movie.
Yeah, so this is not just your regular old zombie
movie. No. These are special zombies. These are Nazis.
These are Nazi zombies that have been frozen. Zombie ice. Then again, we promise you, we try to find these connections for these if we can.
We try really hard. Sometimes they're
It's more creative. Sometimes it's
we haven't resorted to just pictures yet.
Yeah, sometimes it's smack you in the face obvious, like Pumpkinhead. But I mean, we try. We do really try. That's our connection in this one.
Oh, if anybody guesses this one, did anybody guess this one?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think anybody did.
I didn't figure.
We'll go ahead and just start to get into the movie itself. Like I said, this one came out in 2014, so it was a little bit after the other one. This one's got some American cast in it. So let's cover the small amount of cast that people might know, which is very
especially
few people.
over here.
Yeah. And so the first and foremost, I will mention Martin Starr. Like, I love this actor. He was in Freaks and Geeks. He's one of the geeks.
He's one of the geeks. Not one of the freaks.
No. It is a true, like, cult favorite. Like, not even like cult classic, like cult favorite. Like, I mean,
it only got
like one season, then gone. Linda Cardellini got her start there. So, Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Sweets
from Bones. He's on it. Yeah.
What's his name? It's something Daly. I don't want to just say Sweets. John Frank Daly or something like that.
Daly, something like that.
But so I only mention that because he's also he's a director and writer now. You know that, right?
Oh, nice.
He did the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Ooh, did he really?
Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
That's why he stopped acting. He's doing a lot of cool projects now. All of those people, like Freaks and Geeks is one of those. It's a Judd Apatow project. So again, it's like all of his stuff.
They all mentored under the master. Hell yeah.
I mean, most of his stuff is like that. Those people go on to do big things.
Yeah, no, all of them are super famous. James Franco was on that show, right?
Yep.
See?
Yeah, so Martin Starr I won't ruin where he is, but he's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
We got the only other American actors are Jocelyn DeBoer. I'm probably butchering that. I don't even know. And Ingrid Haas. They're both actresses. Mainly, people might know them from online comedy stuff. Like mid to 20 teens. Like College Humor, Comedy Bang Bang, Adam Ruins Everything. Those type of sketch comedies.
Yeah, sketch comedy stuff.
Other than that, we are looking at a entirely Norwegian.
Yeah. Bunch of good Norse boys up there.
Which, again, these are people that might be really famous in Norway, so I'm not trying to downplay anything about them.
No,
but I also do not want to butcher a lot of names that I definitely know I would butcher.
No.
But so I do just want to point out that the person who plays our main villain, he's actually also the lead singer of a Norwegian black metal band named Slogstorm.
That sounds badass.
So he does have that going for him.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go look him up now.
But other than that,
because those Norwegian death metal bands are hard.
Oh, it's literally like the tag. I looked them up.
Did you?
The tagline for their band is something like the hardest or heaviest or metalist band in the north, or the northernmost metalist band. They're making the joke about how far up they are and that they're the most metal.
The most metal band in the northern hemisphere.
I'm not gonna look all these other people up because, like I said, no disrespect to any of them.
We don't know how to pronounce your names.
And I don't want to butcher it. They might be famous in Norway. But again, like
because nobody was bad in this movie.
No, I loved it. I loved
everybody.
This movie, this whole movie was great. We'll just move on from the cast. Let's just get into the movie.
Yeah, let's do this.
Normally, we'd be passing it off to me because we'd be talking about some
the
music,
right?
But this is the first time we finally saw one that didn't have any music to kick in.
No. Wah, wah.
Now, that being said, I'm okay with it because there was a reason.
Yeah, good reason.
This being the second one in the series, they needed to set up for us what happened in the first one. Again, Bo and I both came into this having never seen the movie and have never seen the first one either. So we're letting everyone that's listening know, if you want to watch this one first, go for it. Because they give you a good, solid wrap-up
the best
of the first
recap
one.
I've ever seen in anything.
It's so good that they did of a visual recap that Bo and I came together and we realized that we have the exact same takeaway from the visual recap to give you guys a audio recap of what it is. The audio recap for this movie is just that it's the Evil Dead.
Yeah, for the first movie, it's just the Evil Dead in Norwegian mountains, but with gold instead of the Necronomicon. And zombies instead of demons.
Nazi zombies.
I'm very sorry.
Gotta be specific.
These are not typical zombies. They're special. They're Nazi zombies.
I'm just, it will be a point of reference through the whole movie.
Yeah, no, I wrote it all throughout my notes.
Anytime these are not regular zombies.
No, they are Nazi zombies.
It is very specific. You feel inclined to not watch the first one and come watch this one. Make your judgment. Watch this one. Make your judgment if you want to watch the first one. Me and Bo, again, we both already know essentially the story for the first one.
And I'm still going to go back and watch it.
Don't let anything that you're hearing deter you. If you want to watch this one first, don't think that would deter you. Like literally, none of it's a problem.
If you don't like subtitles,
again,
this might be part.
This might be the thing that lets you know if you want to sit through that one.
Yeah, if you want to suffer through the subtitles, if this movie will definitely sell you on it.
So the main takeaway, though, that you want to know from what we're seeing in the flashback is that the narrator is the only survivor
from that movie.
Now, when we say that it is literally the Evil Dead, but in the mountains, I mean it because this guy uses a chainsaw in the first one. In the first one. So again, this movie, just so that way we can go ahead and get this out of the way, that way you understand why we're setting up exactly what happened in the first one, is because this movie, it's one of those, it's like Friday the 13th Part 2. It takes place minutes after the first one ended. And more so because at least in Friday the 13th when they would do this, usually it's like with a different group. This is literally minutes after the first one.
He's still bleeding.
With the same guy.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still beat the shit from the first movie.
So that's why we're talking about exactly what happened to him in the first one. So he cut his own arm off
because the zombie bit him, like you do,
like you would think you would need to do.
Ash does in The Evil Dead
with a chainsaw,
same fucking way.
That's right. But then we do get one more like dark, like this guy has more layers than Ash because we find out, Ash had to kill like his friends and his girlfriend, but they were all possessed.
Yeah, they were already possessed.
This guy we see in the flashback and in the first movie, I can't wait to see this.
Right.
But he, in a moment of fear and panic.
Violent rage.
I think it's just more fear and panic.
Yeah, because he's already in mid-fight with Nazis.
With a Nazi zombie.
Right?
Here's his girlfriend screaming and running towards him and blindly swings.
And chops her right in the neck.
So kills his girl.
Accidentally kills his girlfriend.
And so again, that's the other thing we want you to keep in mind when we're talking about this movie is that this is again a day.
Yeah,
a day after he killed his own girlfriend
and watched all the rest of his friends get eaten alive by Nazi zombies.
Exactly.
That popped out of the fucking snow.
The movie literally, like we said,
takes place.
Now that we're there.
Takes place right after he gives the Nazis the gold.
He just finished. He had apparently because again we've not seen it. The first movie literally ends with him handing them
the
full box of gold, right?
And they let him go.
The second movie, after his little narrated flashback for us, he realizes he gets in a car. The Nazis are the not zombies.
The not zombie.
Are letting him leave, and then literally we see that a gold coin falls like out of his pocket or something. Yeah, it was in his pocket when he grabbed the car keys.
And it fell out, and then he's like,
it's in the floorboard of the car. Well, he doesn't even notice it first. I don't think.
Yeah, he picks something up and he's holding it, and then he's like, oh, and he looks, and there's a zombie, and it busts through the window.
And then the other one comes from the other window.
Then, and he's getting choked, and he's trying, and he starts the car, and it's got that stupid song.
Well, yeah, he shuts that off immediately, though.
The ooh, tra la la.
He shuts it off.
Yeah,
he was like
he's being choked.
He cared about shutting that radio off.
It was great.
He is definitely in a moment, and what's so great is though the connection back to Evil Dead right now.
Yeah.
He looks in this exact moment, this fight in the right car, here.
Right?
He is covered in blood from the first movie, and he literally looks exactly like the cover where you see Ash, like the picture where he's all blood faced. Mm-hmm. He looks just like that.
Looks exactly the same.
I literally for a moment thought I was seeing a young Bruce Campbell on screen in front of me.
That guy probably is going to take that as a huge compliment.
Did you not get those?
Dude, I did. I was like, it was almost the same shot. Like they framed it the same way.
That shot though, like it really irons home. Right? This, like you can tell that was the point.
Inspiration for this.
And again, I would argue that those are also like horror comedies.
Oh yeah, right? Dude. No,
maybe not so the first one, but 2 and 3
definitely the second and third one
are 100%. But yeah, so this definitely you can tell that they wanted us to know that they took inspiration and they
got respect for it
because that is the vibe.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
And to make sure we understand that this is also a slapstick horror, the very first thing we see, like so he finally gets it in gear and he starts driving off, and we see that one of the zombies, not our main guy, the one that came from the other window.
Yeah, that's the big man.
Yeah, Herzog is our main guy. He's in the driver's side window, but the other one
is just one of the random Nazis through the window. He kicks it out, and one of its
gut
gets caught on the glass.
And so then we just see this giant rubber band moment.
It just drags him while he's driving away.
It was beautiful.
It was awesome.
But then we see that he manages to cut off Herzog's arm.
Yeah, he sideswipes the semi truck with it.
That's right. He's driving. He sees that there's a semi coming, and he lets the semi take him out, but it leaves the arm in there. And so then he keeps driving.
He tries to keep himself
awake, but instead of cranking some kind of music, like maybe the weird techno he was listening to before, he cranks a guy talking about birds.
It was like a nature documentary. Some David Attenborough shit, and he went.
Not even David Attenborough. I could maybe listen to that and not fall asleep. This dude was...
No, it was bad. He just goes right to sleep.
Yeah, he goes to sleep, wrecks his car.
I love the shot of him. He goes, because he's flying through the air, and you see him looking out the window like...
Well, and they say something about flightless birds
while
launching as he's in air. Like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, it was great.
We will see him wake up in the hospital, but before we get there, we see the Nazi, right?
Yeah.
Back on the ground. The truck driver stops because the truck driver doesn't know it's a zombie.
No, he just hit a guy.
He doesn't know it's a Nazi zombie. He just knows that he thinks he hit a person.
Yeah, he's like,
so he's going to check on
somebody.
Him. He sees the guy like how you could look at this thing on the ground
and try to think CPR is going to help.
Because I want to go ahead and say right now, the teeth prosthetics on Herzog are so crazy.
There's no
they
lip.
hang out of the mouth.
Right.
So to think that you're gonna, so he
just
decides
mouse to mouth this guy.
He tries to give CPR to this not zombie, which was a bad idea.
Yeah,
we all are waiting for.
Yeah, he gets his lips bitten right off.
It was,
and then the rest of the zombies show up and tear him apart. But so then we see him find the gold coin because before he drove off, Martin threw it out the window, told him to go
and we would
hell.
assume that should be everything.
Yeah, it should be.
That should have been movie wrap.
Yeah, because he even picks it up and they put it back in the
gold box.
And they have the little ceremony. He can't do the Sig Heil because his arm's gone, and it was fucking hilarious.
But then he looks up at
the truck,
and we have no point of reference because we don't know German for what he might have said to the Nazis first, or what the relevance of this town. I didn't even know it was supposed to be a town.
No,
Later on, we find out that this is like a shipping company's in this town
called Talvik.
But we don't know that at first. We just see this.
Just like,
he's staring at a truck that says Talvik with a fish. And we're like, my man likes fish now?
Right? Like, what's up with him?
He no longer craves human flesh. He just wants a mackerel.
He is angry at the fish. He wants to go.
It was, again, not knowing anything.
Something about the truck pissed him off.
Yeah, not knowing anything about history or, like, again, the first movie to have any kind of reference for anything. I was just like, I don't understand why the man likes fish so much.
But something about that truck made him upset.
Yeah. But so then we cut away from our zombies. Their machinations are in order, whatever they are.
They're about to do something.
Yeah. But so we cut to Martin. Yeah, that's our main guy.
Yep.
In case we did say his name.
Yeah, his name's Martin.
But so we cut to Martin. He's in the hospital. He wakes up. There's a police and doctors in front of him.
Yeah, and he's handcuffed to the bed.
So he's handcuffed to the bed, and the doctor is just telling him, like, we found you, and the police officer kind of chimes up in the background, and your friends. And we know they're all dead, and we found your girlfriend, Hannah, and she had that axe in her neck and her fingerprints,
buddy.
Yeah, so the doctor,
you got an explanation for me? And the doctor's nice. He's kind of like, we don't know
because he's like in shock too. Like, I mean, the doctor's like, this guy was just in a crazy car wreck.
Like, we don't know for sure what happened.
And so then the doctor hits him with some crazy information.
Yeah, it's not all bad news, homie. We got you. Look at this.
He's like, so we saw that looked like you had lost your arm.
Yeah, and we found it in the car.
It looked a little pale.
Yeah, it was a little pale and
beat up.
But like, we popped it right back on.
So again, we point this out to you because his arm is out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in
wherever
the snow,
he cut it off
in
the first movie. The Nazi. That's Herzog.
That's Herzog's arm.
That's our Nazi commander.
And why this doctor thought that was the same arm, it's twice the size.
Yeah, dude.
It is so much thicker than the rest of his arm.
Very different. But so they were just, well, again, if you found an arm that was cut off at the exact same spot.
I mean,
in a car with a guy whose arm was cut.
I guess, but like after I started sewing after a while, I'd be like, these arms are the same, aren't the same. Oh, I can't stop now, I guess.
Well, see, now you understand.
There we go. I fixed it. Never mind. I logicked myself into an answer.
So yeah, he had his arm was sewn on by the doctor, and the doctor just lets him know this, and the shock in his face when he looks down at his arm and realizes what's going on. At that moment, he freaks out. And when he freaks out, the arm takes over and kills the doctor.
Yeah, it does. Just slashes him right across the chest with a very conveniently placed scalpel that just happened to be there.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
dude, it works. And so immediately a cop runs in. He almost kills that little scrawny cop.
That little scrawny cop throws him across the room. Takes a nice bump against that wall, right?
But so then they get him subdued and they drug him. And I want to tell you right now, all that went through my head when they drugged this guy was like, oh shit, this is about to be a crazy different movie. Like, I thought we were about to have like the zombie take over whenever he wasn't conscious.
Yeah.
Right?
And he was going to be a bad guy too.
Yeah, that's not what we get, guys.
No, it's not at all what happens.
So he's out, and when he's out, the arm has no control.
No.
It's just
like, I can't.
Yeah, right now it has a mind of its own.
Like Idle Hands. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, it's like that. It's definitely still evil.
Yeah,
it's
still evil. It killed that doctor and tried to kill that cop. Did you notice when he got injected that nurse almost stabbed him right in the crotch with the needle? Just a little bit more to the right, and she'd have got him.
Look, I don't know what they do in Norwegian hospitals. I can't say. Maybe they do that
side of the thigh is usually standard, right?
Look, I don't know.
I'm just saying she was a little high.
I don't know. I don't know what they do, man. I can't speak on this.
It's like, I know he just killed a guy, but easy.
As soon as he gets put to sleep, we cut to the Herzog and the Nazi forces that he has, and they are at a cemetery. Right, like they stroll up to we don't know that it's a cemetery yet, but the reason I'm pretty sure that it's like the caretaker's house for the cemetery is because as soon as he steps outside, they don't really travel anywhere, and they are instantly, they are at a cemetery. As soon as they kill these two, they are at a cemetery.
What's it called? Where it's just like a church off in the country, a parish.
Yeah, it's something like that. Those. And these are the
caretakers
of the grounds. Yeah. So it's just the guy and his wife, and it's a beautiful. It's again setting up the kind of comedy that we have in this movie.
Great.
So the guy is reading some kind of dirty magazine or something. Again, like I don't know exactly what it is, but so he yells out to his wife who's doing chores out in the yard front, and he's like, "I'm gonna need you to take out your dentures tonight when you're giving me head." And so as soon as he yells that, Herzog
drops
her head in his lap.
There's your head, buddy.
But on top, they nailed this joke twice, because then as soon as Herzog starts hitting the guy,
bashing him in the head with a hammer,
so he gets head twice.
He gets head twice.
Nice.
Everybody loves getting head twice.
They just, again, setting up the kind of humor that we got in this situation for us.
But my favorite character, the zombie doctor, comes in with the arm.
So, yeah, Herzog is sitting in the room.
All badass.
He's got his shirt off.
Jacket off.
He's got missing arm.
Right. He looks cool. He's got all those scars and wounds and shit.
Yeah, zombie doctor strolls in. He's talking. We can't understand it. Like, with him especially, it's a combo of he speaks straight zombie, which is gibberish.
Yeah.
And sometimes German. But I don't know either.
Are in German too,
yeah, everything's in German. So I don't know either. But my point is, like, when you don't know a language and you know for a fact the man is sometimes speaking gibberish, it makes it really hard to try to figure out what he's saying. But so but you can figure it out. He strolls in, he's got an arm, and then we get a slight flashback to see that it's
Martin's arm, the one he cut off with the chainsaw.
Because apparently, much like the real life doctor, they were like, somehow you guys cut him off at the same spot.
Yeah, the same
Perfect
spot.
match.
We would just pop it right on there.
Yeah, and so then we see some zombie magic.
Yeah, these zombies have magic. This was cool. I was like, oh, cool. Magic zombies.
I was ready for it to be like weird, like zombies.
Just orcs stitching
them up. But no, we got like legit
magic. He just kind of grafts it on.
He holds it a little bit away and you see like Venom style, right? Like fuse stretchiness. Yeah, it was cool.
It was a really cool effect. I liked it. It was very good.
It's the only time we get it, but it was nice. It was a nice touch. It really
It was really good.
We go from inside after he gets his arm to him being like, "All right, now I'm back at full power. Let's do what we need to do." Yeah, we still don't know what they're doing.
No,
but we know that they're trying to do something.
Yeah, so they got a plan.
He goes outside, and this is why I say that they got to be cemetery,
like some parish thing. Yeah,
because he literally walks out the door. And there's a cemetery.
Yeah, it's literally right outside.
And he puts his hand... Again, we have no idea what's going on.
No.
He punches the ground.
This Dragon Ball Z punch.
Yeah, it's slow punch, boom to the ground, lightning. Shoots
really cool.
All of the...
Yeah, I loved this effect.
But then nothing happened.
My boy Doc Zombie, he comes in there and he digs in the ground and pulls something up, and it's like a skeleton arm. And he's like, these bodies are too rotten. We need fresh bodies.
We can't do anything.
We can't do anything with these. They've been dead too long.
Again, this is where we get a little bit of the zombie-isify of everything here. The reason they were able to come back, even though they had been dead for so long, is they were preserved in cold ground.
Yeah, the ground was frozen, so they didn't rot too much. These poor guys, the ground's too warm,
and so they're just
so Herzog's just kind of like, all right, fine, we'll just go start killing people.
And so
walks over
to
the church.
Into the church, and I love the effect when he walks into this church, right?
Right,
and they do this weird. The camera effect is cool, but I just mean like the whole like vibe of everything they do. But the camera effect was, I don't even know what they were doing. It's like Vertigo, or something, right? Like they do this weird like zoom in, zoom out
thing
at the same time. I don't know what it was.
It was great.
Cool. But so yeah, then Herzog just starts walking through this church, and as he's walking, the unholy presence that he has causes all of the stained glass windows to start bleeding from the eyes, or to do something else that's crazy and unholy.
You got like the Virgin Mary bleeding from the eyes and all this other stuff.
That whole moment as he's walking down the pews was so... I loved it. It was...
practical effect.
And again, it was so great because it let you see that this movie is both. Like it is a slapsticky kind of comedy, but the horror vibes that you can get from some moments are really there. Yeah, they're there, and they run them all the way home. It's great.
Right. And I like these kind of zombies where they're not, like the Romero zombies.
Oh yeah, well I love.
They seem intelligent.
And they are. We'll get, as we get into the more and more of the movie, you guys will hear more and more of like the intelligence they show. But I like this kind of zombie that they, again, we're not giving anything away because we'll be saying it in like less than 5. It's literally about to be one of the next things we find out. But since we're already here, I'll go ahead and say it. These aren't obvious, because since they're Nazis, that still could have been like crazy science, right?
Yeah.
But these are not science zombies. No. These are mystic. Again, not just because we already seen the magic with the arm, but these are mystical, like a curse is involved type zombies. Yeah, something weird. The occult.
Yeah, the occult.
These are occult zombies, not science zombies.
I like that. Occult zombies.
Right? And so I love occult zombies. Like I love zombies that have a mystical connection, like a weirdness, like a voodoo or something.
Because the ones in Return of the Living Dead, that's a science zombie.
Yeah, well a lot of modern zombies are science, because it is the easy way to go now.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like it.
I like the voodoo zombie.
I do too.
Those are good.
So this movie totally gives us that type of zombie. At this point, though, so we can get us back on track, and then we'll get to. I want to point out though, because these are magic zombies, that when he turned this priest,
when he kills the priest.
So yeah, we didn't get the we went off track.
He
before
beat
that.
him to death with the chalice thing.
So then he does. He's going to kill him, and he picks up
the chalice.
And he uses it like a knife. It was the craziest thing.
Him with it,
and
splattering blood all over Jesus.
You're supposed to the chalice, though, right? It's supposed to be the blood of Christ.
Yeah,
he's got the blood of Christ's servant.
There we go.
But yeah, it was
sacrilegious,
super crazy. But so then he drags this guy outside.
And he just looks at his boys and he's like, "Hey, check this out."
And he totally does like the priest maneuver,
yeah,
right?
Where you would close somebody's eyes when they're dead. He does
that over the priest, and the priest turns. You see that slowly wash over him. The zombification, like more blood starts coming out. He starts
coughing blood up.
But then he stands up
and throws a sig
and is magically. So not only this man does not just turn them into zombies,
he turns them into Nazi zombies.
It's so beautiful. Like that moment was the moment where I was like, "Oh, I really love the ride that I'm on."
I know, right? It's so good.
Because I was not ready for him to be turning. Like I was fine. I
knew
that he was going to make
that made sense,
and I knew he was going to make a zombie battalion.
Yeah,
I got that.
That's what I figured.
That. But I just thought they would blindly follow him, not that they would automatically
be Nazis.
Awesome
he
touch.
Stood up and threw the Sig Heil.
It was great.
It was awesome.
We're not endorsing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're not endorsing the Sig Heil. We're not endorsing the Nazi salute. We are saying
that the
comedy of the moment.
Yeah, was awesome.
Beautiful, guys.
Clarification.
Yeah, we want to make sure no one is trying to get the wrong idea. Don't clip this.
Don't
clip this, guys.
This. Don't clip this. Your dick.
Don't do this to us. It's too early.
It's too early in the. Wait until we're famous.
We're not famous enough for that yet. Wait until we're famous. Come back. Clip it then.
Yeah.
Don't clip it now.
Now we gotta archive this episode so we have audio of us clarifying that that's not what we meant.
Now we can see what he can do, and we cut back to Martin.
Yeah, and he
wakes up.
He can feel that they're coming down from the mountain, right? That's why he wakes up.
Yeah. He has a flash of everything that we just saw.
Yeah.
Because of his weird connection.
Arm connection now. But he is just strapped to that bed.
He's strapped to the bed. He can't move.
There's 9 of them.
He literally can barely move his neck, and he can see in the hallway one of the cops is out there sleeping. It's the
tool cop, the one that was a big douchebag to him earlier.
And so then we see a kid pop his head up
from nowhere
and just starts talking. Not too fast.
But
not like
fast.
ADHD fast, not like
but he's real excited
but he,
to be in there.
He just especially for not speaking before, just for popping up out of nowhere and speaking, he's just kind of
I thought he was a zombie because zombie movies.
Yeah, but so the kid pops up and he's got a phone and he starts telling the guy, he's like, "No, I totally believe you. They're definitely zombies. Look at your arm, man.
That is a zombie arm if I ever saw one."
Yeah, and he's like, "I got to send this to these people I'm talking to, the zombie squad in America." He makes a point.
Yeah, in America.
Zombie squad in America. The dude's like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Martin is like, "Tell them
please, to come here.
Let them save us because this is for sure legit and we need saving."
Yeah, this is an invasion.
And the kid's like, "Oh, I'm on it. I'm doing it." And so we assume that he did. And then Martin's like, "You got to get me out." And the kid at first is still just like, "I don't know if I should do that." And so Martin pulls the oldest trick in the book and he's like, "I got chocolate."
I can't believe the kid fell for this. I know it's a movie, but
the kid didn't look at him and go, "Kid goes, chocolate."
The hell?
And he's like, chocolate? Triple fudge chocolate.
Oh, that's different. And then he immediately starts doing it.
He undoes his things. He gets him out. And when he gets him out, Martin getting up, and he is then trying to figure out what he's going to do. He's looking out at the cop, and he's like, "Well, I can't go that way." He's trying to figure out.
There's bars on the windows. Can't go that way.
And the kid comes up, Bobby, the kid. He comes up. We got to give him credit for Bobby because this is poor Bobby. But so Bobby literally just comes up behind him and he asks about the chocolate. And Martin,
no chocolate.
And again, it's not this. I want to stress, it's not Martin's fault. No. I don't in any way blame Martin for what is about to happen. But so Martin, it seems that when Martin loses emotional control,
the hand
gains control. Right. And so when the kid asks Martin about the chocolate, Martin snaps. because he's like the absurdity of this moment. Because again, we're talking less than 24 hours from when all of his friends were killed, and he is now locked in a hospital, and he's just like, kid, obviously I was lying about the chocolate.
There is no chocolate. Grow up.
And the kid freaks for a moment. Bobby freaks out. And when Bobby freaks out, it causes Martin to freak out. And when Martin freaks out, the hand takes control, grabs the kid, and throws him straight through a metal barred window.
Right, and it's so fast too, because it
happens so quick.
Just zoom, and he's gone.
Again, since Martin isn't in full like awareness when the hand takes control,
he's not even looking at the kid when it happens.
He didn't know right away. He heard the sound of
and
the
he's
kid
just
go through the window and was like, "Oh no." Poor Bobby. And he looks, and he sees Bobby outside, and he thinks I might be able to save him.
Yeah, he goes, I'll give him CPR.
And unfortunately, he used zombie arm forward.
Yeah.
And he wasn't ready for zombie strength.
No.
And his arm went straight through poor Bobby.
Popped him like a balloon.
Again, I think this is hilarious. Yes. I understand that there are people listening. There are people listening that may not find this kind of thing funny. So if you have hit this part, you don't think this is funny, you don't want to keep going along on this ride with us, and you definitely don't want to watch the movie.
No.
Now, if like us, you think this is hilarious, buckle in, because we are just at the beginning of this ride. This is
even the best one.
He's outside.
He's got his hands in the kid's chest.
Yeah, the cop sees him from the hole in the window.
It's not what it looks like, and he likes trying to put stuff back in
guts back into the kid. Into Bobby. Poor Bobby.
Poor Bobby.
Gotta give him credit. Obviously was not able to save the kid.
No.
But the police starts to this dickheaded police officer starts to chase after him, and Martin gets up to a Mercedes.
And the hand stops him, like dead stops him, grabs the thing, and he almost falls. And
it grabs the hood ornament, the Mercedes hood ornament, and throws it like a ninja star. I love it. Then he gets in the car. Yeah. I guess the one that he stole the hood ornament from.
Yeah, because the hand...
They're not real clear.
This is the most handy hand ever, because it just starts...
So again, it's literally like the longer it's on there, the
more control he gets over it.
As long as he doesn't... Like I said, it's almost like a Hulk thing. If he snaps... The hand gets control, but any other time it is totally it kind of works for him.
Yeah,
and he tells us that later on. It's not like how you would normally control a hand. He kind of makes it sound like I give it nudges of an idea.
Yeah, right.
Like, and if it likes it, it goes with it.
Yeah, for real.
So I assume the car he gets in is the one the hood ornament came from. We don't know for sure, but
I'm pretty sure.
He steals a random car. When he's in the car, he gets a phone call.
On Bobby's phone, because he took Bobby's phone. Unfortunately, Bobby ain't gonna need it no more.
Yeah. And the phone call is from Martin Starr. It's my man.
The dude.
His name in the movie is Daniel, but this is our guy from Freaks and Geeks. I only point this out because you don't even see his face yet. But again, if you know this guy, if you've watched him, if you like him like I do, you'll know him from the voice. You'll hear it and be like, "Oh, I know who it is." But so he starts talking to him, and Martin's like, "Yeah,
because he sounds super professional on the phone."
And he's like,
we know exactly.
Yeah, tell us what.
Well, he says, "Tell me what it is.
Tell me what's going on." And so he says, Martin tells him. Basically, Martin gives him the same voiceover recap that we heard in the beginning. Like he tells him what happened in a few less words
and stumbles
from the first movie
because he's freaked out.
Yeah, as soon as he tells Daniel of the zombie squad that they were bitten, but nobody turned into zombies. They just died.
Yeah, they just died.
That's when we finally get our official confirmation from someone in movie world that these are mystical zombies.
Yeah, these are cursed zombies.
He says, these aren't your typical infectious disease zombies. He's like, these are special. These are cursed zombies. It's different.
They usually have some kind of mission.
And he said, and so obviously he says, if their original mission we saw in the first movie is the gold, there's something else that is driving them now. And so he's like, you need to look up who this guy was, what's going on.
We need more information.
And so he's like, he kept hearing that there's zombies call him Herzog, so guess his name is Herzog. And so he's like, okay, well, you need to find out
all you can on that guy and get back to us. We're on our way. The zombie squad's gonna come help me. He's all excited in the car. He's like, they're gonna come and they're gonna take care of it. It's gonna be great because they're professionals. What he says, he's like, they're professionals. Yep. And they're gonna take care of it. And then we cut to the zombie squad, and they are just a group of nerds, and it's great. Because at first, he's sitting there and he's got like this screen in the background, looks all official, and he's like, all right, guys, we're going. It's go time. The thing we've trained for our whole lives. And he turns around and it's these two skinny girls with glasses, and they're
totally
they're
they're each different types. They're all different types of a stereotype
nerd.
of a nerd.
Yeah, he's the tech nerd.
The girl with glasses obviously like our nerd. Like she's supposed to be like the book smart nerd, right? Like I mean she's wearing like like a skirt, glasses, a cardigan. She's right.
Almost Velma.
Yeah, I mean she is totally supposed to be like our true nerd.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
the obnoxious
Star
Wars nerd.
Oh man,
where Star Wars is the only thing.
Yeah, this character is literally through the whole movie dropping Star Wars one-liners and wearing a Star Wars t-shirt.
I hated her. I didn't like her at all.
It was a choice, man. It was a
wasn't
choice.
as bad in the beginning, but as the movie goes on, she gets worse and worse to the point where I'm like, oh, I want to punch you. But yeah, he hypes them up. Because they're like, what do you mean? Like, this sounds like it might be a legitimate thing. He's like, of course it is. Let's go. We're going to do this because we're awesome. And he picks up the axe and throws it and hits his little target.
Bounces off.
It doesn't stick. But they're like, that was further than usual. That was a really good job.
Yeah, we totally see that they are...
not professionals.
Most likely not going to be the heroes that Martin was hoping for.
No. But it's a super funny scene.
Yeah. So then we go from there to the
Talvik Police Department.
This scene, it's not that they are very unnecessary police. This scene is in the wrong place because we don't know. At this point we know that he needs to find out more information about why the zombies are hunting, but we don't know why they're hunting, where they're going, what they're doing yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know why the Talvik police station is relevant, other than the fact that we know the zombies saw it on the back of a fish truck.
So, oddly placed for us to cut to them. They should have went from...
We got a scene that's right after this. They really should have cut to.
Getting off the phone.
Because it's at the museum.
And they should have just went straight to the museum.
Where he's finding out about...
Where Martin's going to find out about the Herzog.
And
but no, in between that, we have to go visit the unnecessary police, as I'm going to call them.
Oh, they are 100% unnecessary. They could have been every
scene, removed from the movie.
They never actually these police, the Talvik police. They never interact with our people.
Nope, they don't interact.
Well, hardly. I think there's a split second at the end.
They don't really even interact with any of the Nazi
zombies. They don't
zombies
interact with almost anybody other than themselves.
Yeah,
they are self-contained completely to be extra comedy. Yeah, that I don't think is necessarily needed.
No, I mean not that any of it wasn't.
It's
funny.
not. Yeah, it's not funny. It's just that the movie could have totally existed without it
because
they're been just
kind
as
of
good.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. But so we have the Talvik police, and we see that the captain is incompetent. Can't do his job.
Just kind of doesn't care.
Yeah, he shows up late to work.
I poured you a coffee. It's cold because you're 40 minutes late.
Yeah. So he is horrible at his job, and now all of a sudden he's being wrapped up. But again, like I said, we don't even know why.
No, it's so they can tell us that
because
the
as of
police
right now,
are aware of Martin.
Because as of right now, Martin isn't that close to them.
No, this whole scene is basically just to have the girl be like, "Hey, we're supposed to look out for Martin."
Yeah. To give us a reason, even though it wouldn't have mattered, because again, later on we find that they have to go there. Yeah. That would have been a time for us to
meet these cops.
It's so
whatever.
ridiculous.
Screw that scene.
We're going to move
on to the
on.
museum.
So Martin gets off at he parks at a museum. He's still in his bloody clothes.
Those bloody hospital clothes, and
he realizes that he can't stay in that because he literally right outside they show
a bunch of
tour buses with like
stuff.
I don't understand the kind of people that are coming to this museum because I'm seeing people in wheelchairs.
Right, there's people in wheelchairs. There's old ladies. There's some dude with dreadlocks.
I guess maybe that is what goes to a history museum. I don't know.
I mean,
it seemed weird though when I was watching the movie.
I'd probably look weird at a history museum.
But so we do go to Martin. And he decides he's gonna pop the trunk and hope for the best.
See what he's got.
And he does. He finds clothes, and it's his outfit for the rest of the movie. And it's like if you see any pictures for the movie before you watch the movie, you're gonna see this outfit. It is
a bright green tracksuit
with a
white
stripe
band,
in it,
like an Adidas band or whatever,
right in the middle.
Right, he looks awesome.
To me, he literally looks like the white. Like the white Northern European Bruce Lee or something. Like he
Norwegian Bruce Lee.
Right? Like I mean he looks just
from
it's great.
Game of Death.
Yeah, he looks great. Like I love it.
He looks awesome.
But
I love it.
He did not. I don't understand if in Norway this is a really dorky look or something. But he pulls even before he puts it on, he looks at it in the trunk like I guess I have to.
have to
and again,
wear
we're
this.
saying this thing fits him like a glove. So it's
Yeah.
not like he looked at it like, oh, it's the wrong
tailored.
size.
Right.
It looks amazing.
It looks great. I think he looks like a badass.
From jump, I loved it. I don't know why he had such a problem.
But he's
with
wearing it like, oh man, I can't believe I have to fucking wear this. God
So-
damn.
And he makes his way inside. We meet Glenn.
Yeah.
I only point this out. When you meet him, we don't know that he's going to be important, but this guy will be along with us
For the rest of the movie after this point.
So we meet Glenn. I'll go ahead and
We'll
introduce him
go
by
ahead.
name because
Glenn. I
we
like
will get to
Glenn.
know him for a while. Glenn is just the front attendant
Yeah,
at
just
this
the-
museum. This is just a job for Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn does not have a love for history. You can tell.
No, he's just.
This is literally he saw a help wanted sign.
I want a job.
He didn't care what it
I'll man
was.
the front desk at your stupid World War II museum.
Exactly. You can tell.
Yeah, he's one of those people.
Martin's like, you need to show me everything on the Nazis.
Yeah, on there's a certain unit he named them, but whatever Herzog's unit
Yeah.
was called.
Well,
And
he
he's
said
like-
Nazis the first time, and the guy was like, what? And then that's when he said the specific
Isense
unit.
or something like that.
But he's like, I need to find Herzog. I need to
Yeah,
find out about him. And
He's like,
so
"Up over there."
and so, well, at first he had a problem with the guy. The
Yeah,
guy
he
wouldn't tell
yells
him.
for help,
And
then
this
he-
is I only want to point this out because the guy yells for help. But this is like the last time where the arm truly has a complete mind of its own, right?
Yeah.
Again, to show you that the longer it's attached to Martin, the more like
heat control he
like
has. though.
syncopatic relationship they start to have, where they're like
It's not
totally on the
just
same
doing
wavelength.
random things anymore.
But this is the last time, and it's a weird spot because it's like it is like a mind of its own, right? Because it does grab the dude. Martin clearly didn't necessarily, but it is doing things that Martin wants now. Like that is something that helps Martin.
When he smacks
Martin
the
just has to
dude's
kind of
face.
give it a little bit of don't kill him
Yeah.
moment. But it is now, like again, earlier it was totally doing things that Martin did not want and
him
were
to
not
do,
helpful,
but needed
necessarily.
to happen.
Well, did Bobby have to go through the window?
He needed out of the room.
I think the arm could have done that without
Well, I mean,
Bobby.
the room. This is the most expedient way according to the hand.
You get what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm trying to think like the hand.
Well, if that's true, then it
'Cause
would
I
have
used
just
to
killed
be-
Glenn.
I used to be.
If that's true, it just would have killed Glenn, man.
Well, I tried to. It grabbed him, but he's like, and then he grabbed him with the other arm.
He gets upstairs after getting in control. But again, keep in mind, this is the last time. Every moment from here on, the hand is essentially,
Just a tool.
again, let's say a tool, a friend.
Yep.
Because it does still have a mind of its own. It is not by any means just his normal hand.
No, it is superpower awesome.
It still
hand.
has a mind of its own. It still does some random crazy
twitchy.
things. So it is not. He is not just using it like his normal left
No.
hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or right hand. I don't
Left
know.
hand, right hand. I think it's his right hand, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
I can't remember.
Either way, guys, it doesn't matter.
You all watch the movie and figure out which hand it is.
He gets upstairs and he's finding out about who these people are. He finds out that our boy Herzog was like
Hitler's
an honored, trusted.
Member of the Nazi Party.
Yeah, like
Hitler's
we're talking
buddy.
important, not just some random
No.
dude in the army, not even just some fluke of a commander. Like it's
Yeah.
someone who actually got some FaceTime.
Oh yeah, he's
with
sitting
Hitler
there,
himself.
picture of him shaking the
Yeah.
Fuhrer's hand. Isn't that fucking nice?
And even beyond that, we find out that he's literally a squadron who goes out on like personalized quests.
yeah, the Fuhrer sends him to do dirty work.
And so he was in Norway because there was information from. Oh, they were gonna. I can't even remember the exact.
He got sent to
details.
Norway because to protect the warships, and then the British bombed the Turks.
Because Norwegian spies. That's right. Yeah.
And then he was sent to Talvik to go exterminate everybody
as revenge.
as
Like
revenge.
straight revenge.
But
Nothing else.
But him and his men were butchered before they could get
No, they weren't
there.
even. But they just died in the snow.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, snowstorm. That's from the first movie. They only just mentioned it for a second in this one.
Oh,
Yeah, they just died.
I thought they were ambushed or
No.
something and just left out in the woods.
Nope, just died, just froze. They were like, because in the first movie we don't see it, but remember the dude even Martin in the beginning even says like he refers to it as a shrine. I told my friends not to go in that shrine because
Yeah.
they were frozen in a cave.
See,
So
now
again-
I gotta go watch the first movie now.
Well, again, dude, I'm just giving you context clues from this one. I've not
I
seen.
missed that one.
Yeah, it's just a cave. Like they went into a cave. I think. Again, this is all conjecture, guys. I don't know, so don't anybody come at me if you do know the first one.
We haven't seen
and
it.
know I'm wrong.
We're guessing.
I'm telling Bo what I think from context clues that I got in this one, it was that it was a cave that they went into just to like stay warm or something back in the day. And they froze to death in the cave with the Nazi gold. Right? And then the friends found the Nazi gold in the shrine. Not a real shrine, because Martin calls it that. It just means that it was a place where they all died. Yeah. And the gold was there.
All right. Well, we'll find out when I get home, because I'm going to watch the first one. I'll message you and tell you if you're right. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That'd ruin it for you.
Yeah.
That would be stupid.
We'll just play it just like what's going to be for the podcast. Yeah. But if not, you'll just wait until I watch it, and then we'll have a conversation.
We'll talk about it when we go to edit this one. Reason why the Nazis are going to Talvik was because Hitler told them to go do it. So we know Herzog's plan is to go to Turkey.
Oh, yeah, and that they just died. That's right. And they just died. Yeah, they died in the snowstorm before
they could get there.
So now that is their mission. That's right. Yeah. So now we know that the cursedness of this all. And again, the belief here, they never outright say this. Because again, like, we know curse is involved, right? But I do believe what they're trying to insinuate, since he is such a trusted person of Hitler's, and Hitler sent him on this like crazy mission, is that Hitler used occult magic to bless. I say bless because they say curse. But you know what I'm saying? Like, bless in quotations.
I mean, could have. Himmler was into all that shit.
All of them were. They were all into the occult. That's what I'm saying. So, like, it's totally believable that a curse
was on these
a blessing, a curse, whatever word you want to use, was put on them. And because of that, they are now in this
occult zombies.
Yeah, they are in this state that they are in. They don't ever outright tell us that, though. We just can kind of infer that maybe that is what's going on.
But right about the time they figure this out, they look out the window, and the Nazis have shown up, and they are killing everybody outside. All of those poor tourists.
Just had to happen.
Just tearing them apart. They took that one guy's intestines and used it to siphon the diesel out of the bus into the tank. I laughed so hard.
And not only that, so like that guy, we see the second in command. Right? Like the guy with the eye patch. He's clearly supposed to be the second in command.
The whatever lieutenant or whatever.
And so, he's the one too. Like they ripped this guy. At first you're just like, we've already done the
gut thing.
The gut rubber band joke in this movie. Why are we doing it again? That's exactly what went through my head when I saw it. And then you see the one shove it into the gas tank and like bust, and the other guy on top of the tank, and you're like,
I was sitting there, I was just like, that's not how that works, but that is so fucking funny.
No, it is so. Long as
not with the intestines.
Well, not with the intestines, but I mean, at that point, you're just.
I know.
If it's a hose and it's connected, there's nothing between two ends. Yeah,
that's how air pressure works. That's how that works. But
so I'm saying it would work. I'm saying it would work, man.
Don't ruin my magic.
I'm saying it would work.
And they are magic zombies. Never mind. I concede all points. Never mind.
But so at this point, Martin and and Glenn, our front desk attendant, are just watching from the window, and poor Glenn throws up. He gets just sick from
all over the window,
the outrageousness that's happening
and
outside.
Martin just casually just.
Well, he does use the zombie hand.
Yeah, he did. He did use the zombie hand, but he just wipes it off.
Well, he doesn't have feeling in that,
right? But I had to pick a hand.
Yeah. And so they're looking outside, and they realize though that it's not just a straight slaughter, right?
No, that they're recruiting.
And that's literally the line that we get from Martin is, they're recruiting now? They can do that? Because again, he's not seen them do zombie things by turning other people into zombies yet. He's only ever seen just the core group that killed him and his friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all I've ever seen.
So he was like, oh no.
And none of his friends got brought back.
Exactly. So, like he told the zombie squad, nobody turned.
We all just died.
So he sees that they're all being turned and is like, oh no. We got to figure out something because they're coming towards us now. And so he's like, well, we're not dying here. He tells Glenn because Glenn's freaking out.
He's like, we're going to die. He's like, you are going to die.
Not today.
But not right now.
And then so they run upstairs and they hide as people.
Mannequins.
Now this though proves one thing, that these occult zombies, again, not like our infectious zombies, right? An infectious zombie would have smelled
they would have smelled people.
And known there were people. They were able to trick the zombies.
Yeah, but they're just standing there just as still as humanly possible.
And now we finally see why the zombies wanted to be at the museum. They're claiming their stuff back.
Yep, they ransack it. They get grenades and
just ammo,
trench
gear.
Let's
just say gear.
Entrenchment tools.
They just want to get their gear.
And Herzog gets the map.
Yeah, they just want the stuff.
Need a map.
They just want the stuff they feel like was stolen. from them.
This is our stuff. You can't have it.
That's
and they
pretty
go
much
and
it.
they roll off. They have a freaking tank now, which real German tank. I liked that. I want to know where they found that at.
I don't know. That was like. I loved all of that moment though, like where they get all their gear and then they roll out.
Yeah, he's being a Nazi.
So he is picking his army. Mm-hmm. He is being picky. I'll point that out. He's not being so picky that he's not, like he's still taking women. I don't think we see him take any kids.
No.
But he is not only taking men. You know what I mean? Like he's leaving some people behind. So then we see Martin and Glenn. They roll outside, and as soon as they roll outside, Martin's like, "Let's see what this thing can do." Glenn totally confused.
Right? Like, what are you talking about?
But we know he's like, "Let's check out my superpowers."
Yeah, because
not that Martin or anybody would ever call them superpowers, but that's what they are.
The arm of Satan, as he calls it.
Yeah. But so he just goes out and he just starts wailing into the zombies. Again, these are zombies that were made but for some reason didn't follow. So obviously the control wasn't there, so it didn't even matter that they were left behind. So Martin just kills them all.
But my favorite one is when he punches that one's head and it just explodes against the bus. It was great.
And they were like, okay, well, this is totally crazy. That's not too helpful though. Martin's like, what am I supposed to do though? I can't. Like, what can I do against an army?
Yeah, there's
and
too
while
many
he's saying this though, he sees this guy. We had already seen him once earlier. He's in a wheelchair.
He's got an I Heart Norway shirt on.
Poor dude. He sees him on the ground and he just goes to cover his eyes.
Yep.
And when he does,
we get the little whoosh.
We find out that Martin can make zombies too.
Oh. But he don't know it yet. They're still
he doesn't know.
They're still staring off
we
in the
know.
distance.
We see it.
We see it. And then the zombie stands up behind him and stuff. And then they turn around and he's just like, crack. And kills him again.
Horrible.
And then they wake him up.
And as soon as they wake him up, everybody's excited. The zombie's excited. They're excited. They're like, awesome. And the dude's like,
he's not attacking. He's my buddy zombie. We can make our own
zombie army.
And then hatchet to the face.
And Zombie Squad shows up.
It was a good throw. He was so happy about it.
So we skipped over one scene. It was only 2 seconds. That's why it was easy to skip over. We skipped over Zombie Squad arming themselves.
The montage of them going to the hardware store.
It's not that big of a deal that we missed this scene. All it's just for laughs. It was literally as soon as they landed, they were like, "Oh, now we need to arm up." Because again, you can't take that stuff on a plane. You can't take guns and whatnot. But so then they were like, "We got to arm up," and so they go to a hardware store.
And just montage of them grabbing shit. The receipt.
They grab shears and like spikes, nails, nail guns, like great. But it's funny because they get outside and they're like, "I wish you could buy weapons here."
The fuck is wrong with this country?
Right. So it was just a silly joke. That's the only reason I wanted to come back.
Right.
But it's also to let you know why they only have hatchets and lawn care
tools
gear.
And shit.
It's because that's all they were allowed to buy.
Right.
Because Norway is one of those countries where you
can't just buy guns.
Yeah. So and they obviously couldn't fly it in.
No.
But so they show up. Daniel, my boy Martin Starr, totally just hatchet to the face. He was able to pull off what he was not when he fucked up
earlier.
That's right. He tells the girl to get a picture. He tells Monica, get a picture. That says Star Wars girl. Get a picture of me. She goes to take the picture.
The look on
his face. Throws up.
He has the most psychotic smile on his face. Just
throws up all over.
Yeah, she
can't handle it. She's like, "Oh my god, these are zombies.
Real dead people and shit."
And literally, Martin's looking at her like, "Yeah, I told you guys that. You guys don't look
like what I thought was going to happen."
But again, they tell them, they're like, "But we are experts. We know what we're talking about.
We are professionals. I'm sorry.
We tracked your phone.
How did you track my phone? Because we're nerds. We do technical shit like that."
But so they then tell them they need to further the plan, right?
Yeah.
Like
Daniel's like, I got a plan. I did a bunch of research.
He told Martin to find out who Herzog was, and then they get there, and he's like, "So by the way, I went ahead and looked him up because I didn't trust that you were going to do what I asked you to do. So here's what I found out about him.
I found out more than you did. I found Herzog's enemy. There's a bunch of dead Russian dudes we can go resurrect,
which is now where we officially find out why the name of the movie is Red versus Dead."
Because there's a bunch of dead Soviets.
That's right. Again, up till now, we've had no
idea.
No inkling about why.
Because Martin's face is red with blood?
I don't know.
That's
But
a
yeah, so
stretch.
now we find out why.
Right.
He tells us that, yes, way back when, in World War II, that there had been a Russian group, they were there, and that the Germans used them as POWs and then killed them after they built whatever it was.
All the prisoners were shot.
Yeah.
Shot to death.
As you would expect.
That's the line,
yeah,
the
I
way
know.
he says it is
But
so
now
funny.
they are still there, left in the frozen ground.
Right.
So they can go get them. Which means they will be perfectly
Preserved.
like they need.
Like the Nazis were.
That's
This is
right.
The conditions we need.
Perfect equivalent to
Right.
what we have. And so it's like, oh, ready, set, army? As
Yeah.
opposed to having to find people?
Right, let's go.
Let's do this.
So
but then at
Daniel-
this point, we see Daniel and Martin, arguably the only two people so far we have seen successfully kill anything.
Anybody.
Right off together and tell the girls and Glenn,
go slow the Nazis down.
we need you to do this because if not, they're going to slaughter all of Talvik.
That was such.
It was
that
a weird one.
They even take the pet zombie guy with them.
I just call him Zomdog.
Zomdog.
We can call him whatever we want, but if I say Zomdog, just know I'm talking about our poor, unfortunate wheelchair guy who at this time has died 3 times.
Yep. And he's
Right?
3. Yeah, I think 3 times because first, head, hatchet. Yeah. So he's on his 3rd death. So they took him with them and sent the girls and Glenn off to go slow down a freaking tank.
That's right.
Like, even if they weren't zombies, it's a tank.
it's
what are they
wild.
supposed to do about a tank?
Wild.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
At this point, we get a cut to they're all going off their own places. I don't remember exactly when this cut happens, but we'll go ahead and get it out of the way because again, we don't care for the police.
Yeah.
So we get a cut of the police at this exact same crime scene.
Yeah.
Right. And they are. It is the only reason I even want to bring this one up is because it's one of the best jokes with the police.
Right.
And I love it. And so the police are there, and the dumb captain shows up, and he's like, "Oh, what did the crime scene unit find out?" Because you see there's 2 guys in white
walking around.
and the girl cop deadpan looks at him and just goes, "That's not CSI. That's just Dave and Tom or whatever their names were."
Fucking name.
They just felt like they'd look more official if they were wearing white today. I loved it, dude.
But then the captain's just like,
No,
yeah, good call. He just goes with it.
Great job.
Yeah, great job.
It worked. I love it. I don't know why I laugh so much. It's the only time that the police and their interactions I thought was as funny as the writers thought. Because again, the
Yeah,
rest of
it
the
was really
scenes
good.
I was like, I don't really care
I
for.
don't really-
that
no,
one though,
that
I
was
love
really
that
good.
whole scene. And I get it. We have to have those characters to have that scene, but the rest of them don't work. So
No, this
I
is where
still
we
feel
should
like
have
we could have
introduced
just
the cops.
Yeah, this is where we should have introduced them because again, now we know why they're going to Talvik. When we first met the Talvik cops,
We had
and they
no
were
idea why.
100 miles away from Talvik, we had no idea why we would be introduced to the Talvik police force.
We're supposed to glean that from the back of a truck.
I guess so.
Yeah. I'm not that smart. Sorry.
Maybe it's real World War II Norwegian history, and
mean,
it's just not important in America.
I guess.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I agree. I had no idea until they told us, and when they told us was after we met those cops.
Right. But then we get to cut to the tank having a little fun rampaging through a small town, and it runs over some kids.
This is funny. So yeah, we see, and I know again, some people might be offended.
Yeah.
But it was horribly
fucking hilarious.
Because again, these kids had it coming.
Yeah, they did.
So these kids are in a sandbox and they're just playing, and they hear the tank, and they
What if even looks
look
and
at
goes,
that, and they see
"A
it, and they
tank."
talk about it. And again, this tank is only moving 15 miles an hour.
Right, it is just puttering.
And they watch it until it runs them over.
Yeah, they didn't try to run.
They had it coming, guys.
Nothing.
They had it coming.
They did. They had it coming.
But then we see them like roll in,
They're-
kill some people
kill
in the bathtub
everybody.
and stuff, and like another family. So we just see
they
that
throw that one lady out the window and she gets run over by the tank as soon as she lands.
I love that. So we just see this whole montage.
Right.
The woman who leaves her grandma in the
he
wheelchair.
just leaves her in a wheelchair and he just curb stomps her.
And then again, like we said earlier with Bobby, or we even said just now with these kids,
Yeah.
if this isn't your kind of humor, you're not gonna like it. These are not the worst. I would say arguably the worst one is right now the tank. Finally, they get to a point where they've slaughtered most of the people in the town. All that's left are people fleeing.
Yeah.
One of the people fleeing are two women pushing prams.
Yeah, little
with
baby
the babies.
carts.
And so they fire.
Just like, she's like, Shaq, you go ahead and shoot those bitches over there.
And when they shoot, they get a direct hit, and literally you see the
baby
prams go flying, and you hear the baby cry noise
as it flies toward the screen right at you. Is so good. Oh my god.
Again, this is
stop
I am aware.
I paused it and I had to sit there and laugh. I was dying. It was so good.
I'm aware this is not everybody's cup of tea. It is mine.
Mine too.
I laughed.
It was so
It
good.
was so funny.
It was the best.
But yeah, so and that's all this whole scene was for. It was just for some
mindless
good
mayhem.
Yeah, because again, we can't be a zombie movie if we don't see the zombies go on a killing spree. Yeah.
And we find out the tank works.
Yeah, the tank is fully functional. It is not just there for movement.
Yeah, it is a...
And
for some reason, the museum kept live ammunition.
And a lot of it.
A lot of it, too. He fires a bunch of rounds throughout the movie.
Yeah, so we see that the tank is definitely on its way. And so now we know that our girls and Glenn literally have to contend with a functional tank.
Because they kind of see the attack happen. They're up on like a ridge.
Before we knew that they had a tank, but we didn't know it was functional other than for movement. We just thought they were using it as vehicle.
Right. You can run shit over with it.
No,
it has boom.
And they are aware. And so they're like, oh man, what
do we do?
How do we handle this? So they come up with a plan. Monica and Blake, that's their girls.
Yeah.
They come up with a plan. Their plan is, Glenn, you need to do it.
This is the dumbest plan.
Well, so they're like, we need someone who knows the area to run out there. And basically, you don't need to know the area because it wasn't an open swamp.
Yeah,
let's be clear.
You don't really need to know the area. Even
as long as you've got eyes and you can see.
It's a swamp.
Well, as long as you got eyes and you can see what's in front of you. Because all they wanted Glenn to do was go out and basically football run around the swamp.
And get the zombies stuck while they throw pipe bombs at them.
It was insane.
It was a terrible
wait. We're almost passing up the reason you hate the Star Wars girl the most. Me too. This is one of my least favorite Star Wars girl moments
while they're
too.
Watching to come up with their plan, Monica has a set of binoculars and a very special set of binoculars.
And she's looking down and she's telling them what she sees. And she's talking about the tank and the zombies. And Blake says, what are those? And she starts to say what a zombie is.
Yeah, she starts describing a zombie, and Blake's like,
No.
What are those?
And we see that she has replica from the movie Star Wars binoculars. You know, the ones that they use on Hoth.
Yeah.
She tells us this.
And then she gives us a trivia bit about Hoth and how it was filmed in Norway in this one place. And I'm like, oh my god, I would have punched her in the fucking mouth.
Yeah,
not the time for that.
Having those fake binocular things, because again, they were not as functional as real binoculars because they come to one lens.
Right.
One lens is feeding two eyes as an image. That's not.
Yeah, it's not as good. That's why they have binoculars.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so.
I hate her so much.
It was just one of those moments. I couldn't let us walk past it because I know it was the moment.
At that point, as soon as I saw those fucking binoculars, I was like, I hope she dies.
Yeah, I couldn't walk past that moment because I knew you'd want to make sure we say something about that.
But their plan is to sacrifice poor Glenn to these zombies, basically.
And so they send him out.
They send him out.
Run around, and he shockingly does a great job.
He does.
And they take out a big number of this battalion. I'm going to say this.
25.
We laughed when we told you what the zombie squad looked like.
Yeah.
But they pull through.
Yeah, they do.
They live up to exactly the speech that Daniel gave them where he was like, we got to live up to what
we trained
for this. People laughed at us and we need to prove that there was a reason, and they are proving.
Yeah, they did. Their plan works, and Glenn makes it back to the girls, and they have a big celebration.
But then they start getting shot at.
There's some USA chants, and Glenn looks at him,
rolls his eyes because I didn't know most of it.
Yeah, he's like, I did. You all did.
I did the dangerous.
I did the dangerous shit.
But then they start getting shot at.
Yeah, the tank starts shooting him because Herzog's just like, all right,
and he goes ballistic, dude. Like, I mean, he has them shoot just fires all over the swamp, and so we don't know what's going on with them. That's our last. We don't see them again.
Know, they're dead
for a while.
No.
So we cut back to Martin and Daniel and Zomdog. And they get stuck on the way up the mountain. And when they get stuck up on the way up the mountain, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, you got to put something under the tire, right? Something. Get some friction, get some traction.
A plank
or
sand
or a person if you just happen to have an extra, if you just happen to have one.
A Zomdog?
Just an extra dude you can shove under the tire.
And so they have a talk and wedge poor Zomdog.
Why'd they shove him balls first?
I don't know, dude. This whole scene was outrageous.
I'm like, you could have wedged him sideways so it ran over his gut. Nope, balls first.
They use Zomdog as traction and bring him back.
And bring him back to life and just shove him back in the back.
I swear, this poor guy.
Poor guy. So that's death number 4.
They get to the top of the mountain. When they get to the top of the mountain, Daniel tells the rest of the story. He's like, all right, well, this is where it is, man. You bring him back.
Bring him back like you do Zomdog over here. And he's like, I touched Zomdog on the head. Like, we can't dig every one of these dudes up.
And Daniel just goes, do it.
We got to do something.
And so Martin was like, okay. And the hand
takes over here.
But again, this is where I point out, at this point, the hand is completely on Martin's side.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Because if he was in any way still trying to do stuff that may be helpful to the Nazi zombie,
it wouldn't have done
it would not have brought these guys back.
No, it would have just left them standing there.
Again, at this point, it is in a working relationship with Martin.
Right.
Martin is not in control of that hand.
No.
But is doing the things that Martin wants.
Yeah.
It is helping Martin.
Yeah, it is. It's totally helping him at this point.
And so the hand basically is like, time to Dragon Ball Z punch the fucking ground right now. It is.
Boom. And big lightning effect.
And as soon as he does, we start seeing these Russian zombie soldiers come up. And I mean, literally, they are intimidating.
Yeah, they are.
Zomdog is afraid, and they have the same master as him.
Right. Like, these are... And that one is...
Oh,
giant.
yeah, no, the commander.
The big...
Yeah, no,
I called him Big Russ.
Big dude. He is massive.
He's the big undead Rusky.
He's their commander.
I called him Big Russ.
He's literally the counterpart to Herzog, is what he's supposed to be. He's the Russian counterpart to Herzog. And true to being the Russian counterpart to Herzog, he has fucked up teeth.
Yeah, he does. And a big bushy red beard, which I really like.
Like something about the commanders, they just have to have a weird set of teeth.
Yeah. But he walks up and they're all intimidated and like, oh, are we screwed? And then Big Man goes, Master. And Martin's just like, fuck yeah.
We got this. Daniel even says, oh yeah, we got an army.
Yeah, we do.
And they do. And again, you know that's what we get right now. We're about to be getting full-on zombie v zombie
big fight
army.
It's going to be freaking awesome.
Like totally zombie wars. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're getting.
Right. And then the next morning, I guess, because it's daylight.
Yeah, it's full. It's the first time in the whole movie we get like
full daylight,
full like bright. We see everything's real colors,
right? Everything. It looks nice. It's a lovely town. I wish I lived there.
And the zombies roll in.
Tank goes up the street, and
nothing's really going on yet. We cut to our
kind of looks abandoned.
Yeah, we cut to our dumb cops one last time because after this we don't have to cut to them because after this they will be in the thick of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But so they realize that they think it's still just costumes, right? Yeah. They're like some people dressed up as zombies
are going nuts.
Nazis are
going around
marching around the town. And so they're like, oh no, let's load up. We don't want people to show us up because some people from the southern part of Norway are supposed to be coming in. Yeah, they're supposed
to be coming up there. And he's like, screw that. I'm going to deal with this myself. Get everybody, which consists of like 5 other people.
Yeah, not very many. No. And they load up into 2 cars and show up to try to help. We don't see them for a while. Yeah. We don't really need to.
That's
it's not important.
What they're doing right now.
But so then we get to Martin rolls out in front of the zombies. Just by himself at first. It's him,
Daniel,
and the zombies.
And Zomdog.
It's just him, Daniel, and Zomdog because the other people, we don't even know. The other zombie army, the rest of the zombie squad, and Glenn, we don't know what's going on with them. So he stands there and he's like,
hey, fucker.
Yeah, like, what's going on? He gives him one last plea to try to not do it, right? Like he gives him a speech about something, right? He's just like, you shouldn't do this. And then they laugh at him.
Yeah.
And when they laugh at him, he rips his sleeve off
and he's like,
and he shows Herzog,
look at my fancy arm, buddy.
He makes
look
jokes
familiar
about And he's like,
I brought some friends.
And he calls in the army. And wait a minute, I got this quote. I want to say this because I thought this was the funniest. It was the best line ever.
Don't you just hate it when somebody you thought was dead comes back to kill you?
I love that line.
Right?
That line was great. Perfect. Like, I was just like, stop it right now.
Right. And then as he says it, it shows Big Russ, big grin, like, yeah, fucker, I'm back.
And then we get...
He's got a big machete, too. He's almost looking like Jason.
And we start to get a full-on fight go down, right?
Right.
The girls in Glenn don't show up.
No, they haven't shown up yet.
No, not until he tells them to go after the tank.
Yeah.
Right? Which is...
After he tells Daniel
we get a little,
to go get the tank.
We get a little bit of fight go down first. But so, yeah, we get full-on fight. We see the army go at it. We see clashing. We
awesome.
see Martin is using his zombie arm to take people out.
Tearing people
Daniel
apart.
is surprisingly good out on the
hammers.
army.
I wrote down in here, I was like, Daniel is kind of badass.
Again, living up to the speech he gave.
Exactly. He has clearly actually been training, not like most.
And it is paying off.
Not like most nerds say we train, right?
But and it's paying off.
Oh, yeah, it is.
He is totally helping to save the day.
But that's where he tells Daniel to go after the tank, because the tank goes to smash the cop cars when they show up.
And then after smashing the cop cars,
the cops go hide.
Yep.
I don't think we see him again.
Nope. And so that they go deal with that, and Martin
and Big Russ are fighting all the other.
Well, they're fighting like crazy. Big Russ finally goes up to
Herzog, and they're gonna have their big showdown.
Oh,
it was epic.
It was crazy.
Fuck out of each other. It was great.
Well, and totally,
he was losing.
Yeah, our guy, Big Russ, he totally would have won.
Yeah,
Herzog though. One of his men comes out of nowhere. Cheap shot.
It was
I
bullshit.
totally agree.
Bullshit. Out of nowhere, comes in from behind with the axe, catches him in the side, and Big Russ eats it right through the face.
So, yeah.
This is when Glenn and everybody shows up, I think.
Yeah. That's what I say. Even if it's not, it's close enough.
Close to around
because basically it's re-rally time is when they show up, right?
Because we're losing at this point.
And so they need the extra help, and they show up, zombie squad, to save the day. Martin's like, oh, yeah.
Good to see you guys. You showed up just in time.
And they do. The girls even start.
They're a little badass, too.
We assume that they obviously had to be to get here.
Right.
But now that they're here, we get to see it.
Yeah,
and they do. They just jump right in.
Moves.
Jump right
cool
in.
Shit. Some of the choreography is awesome.
Unfortunately, their boy Daniel doesn't get to see because he's off on
chasing the tank.
But yeah, it's nuts.
But he has a nice little fight in that tank too when he gets to it. I like it.
All the while this is going on, the police are literally watching
through the window
of a building just close by. That's how useless these characters were.
The unnecessary cops.
Once the tables return again, and our heroes are on top.
Yeah, they realize that they have to kill Herzog. If they kill Herzog,
that's exactly. Monica and Blake are like, oh, look. Because when they realize that those people are under the mind control the same way, right? And so they're like, oh, that definitely means that if you kill him, all of these guys drop because they're connected. And so Martin's like, all right. And just runs.
Epic spear.
Dives.
Goldberg would have been proud.
Speared him into a house.
It was so good.
And then they have an epic battle in a kitchen.
With
like frying pans and knives.
He keeps trying to stab him. He keeps pulling cookie sheets out of the oven
until it's the slatted one.
Right.
Almost gets stabbed.
Yeah, it was good. And then we go to Glenn, and he has his fight in the tank. He just drops in and shoots.
It's only a fight with one zombie. There are 3 zombies in the tank, and he drops in. He shoots 2 right away, and he didn't see the third, which was our eye patch dude.
Yeah, that's the lieutenant commander guy, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and so he has an epic fight with him in there. He's swinging hammers and stuff, and he runs out of tools, and he gets pinned to the ground.
And he can't reach the hammer
that's above him.
I think he even got stabbed with a screwdriver.
I think the stabbing happens after this, like when they're outside.
Oh, does it?
Because it's what happened. He undoes the stabbing when he kills the guy. He doesn't kill the guy until they're outside, I thought. I don't know. It doesn't matter. There was a stabbing at some point.
Yeah, he gets stabbed somehow.
But yeah, I felt like the stabbing was after he was on the ground.
I thought it was before that, and then after he got stabbed, they landed there, and then he's reaching for the hammer because he took the screwdriver to the chest.
Either way, it doesn't.
But he's trying to get that hammer so he can smash that fucking zombie because that's choking.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. It's right. You were right on when it happened. Because again, if he smashed him on the ground, he's dead after that.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I was even thinking that. Mine was completely
That's later when he puts the shotgun shell in his mouth and
finally
and then kills him.
Well, that's right here where you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's literally right now. He hits him with the hammer until he can flip over, and then he's still hitting him, but the zombie is still just coming, and that's when he grabs the shell, puts it in his mouth, in his nose.
I don't know, but he
puts it somewhere in an orifice on his face
and smashes it with a hammer and kills him.
And then no more zombie. But so while all that is going on,
the tank drives through the house,
and Martin and
the zombie end up on top.
Herzog are just duking it out on top of the tank, right? And then finally. Though once Daniel gets control, he pulls the brakes because again he doesn't know what's going on.
No, he just stops the tank.
His whole job was supposed to be to stop the tank.
Right, he did. He stopped the tank, but unfortunately Martin was in the middle of beating that ass.
He throws Martin into the roof
the
hood of a car.
Too.
Oh yeah, he throws Martin into the hood of a car, and Martin is just rough shape.
He is messed up by this point.
But he's still talking to the zombie, distracting him, and we see Daniel gets control of the turret on top of the tank, turns it, lines it up right with Herzog's head. Boom! Takes him out.
That was beautiful.
Saved the day for everybody else because literally Monica and Blake were about to get taken out. Poor Glenn did.
Yeah, poor Glenn, right when he was about to come out the closet.
Even though everybody knew.
Yeah, even though we all knew, man. It's okay.
Strange moment.
You were my favorite character. It's fine.
But yeah, Glenn did not make it.
No,
unfortunately.
sad. I was so sad.
I was too.
I was like, no, not Glenn.
We skipped over our Zom dog had a triumphant moment.
He the priest.
He killed the priest in the middle of this whole battle that we had go on, and then he got run over by the tank.
In the middle of his big triumph, he's like, oh, and it comes out of nowhere, just runs him down.
But so once Herzog is dead, that's
it.
We think that again, story is basically wrapping up. We don't have anything else going on. It's not one of those kind of movies where we're following like the zombie squad home or anything like that. We just know that they're gonna leave. The job's done.
Monica tells him the Force is with him, which made me want to hit her even more.
Well, even her friends said on that
really?
one.
That's the one you went with?
You could have went with a ton of them.
There were a million choices.
From the movies. That's the one.
Just so bad.
They totally just wrap up right there. You think that it's about to be end of movie.
Yeah.
But then we get one last really raunchy scene here.
Oh my God.
Where Martin still has the powers because Martin never realized it was his hand on the zombie. Nobody ever told him.
No.
It was never a conversation. No. So he didn't know he could just have his own arm back right now. Right. And so he just still keeps the zombie arm.
Yeah.
And he decides... And it still has powers.
It does, which I'm fine.
But so he decides he's going to go to Hannah. Again, in case you weren't paying attention, that's his girlfriend from the first movie, who is very dead.
Yeah, he's going to go dig her up and
bring her back. Now, mind you, he does not bring back... They are very sentient, these zombies. Yeah. He's had conversations. I told you they laughed at him.
Right.
They are not sentient enough for what he's about to do. So he brings her back. And they have sweet, sweet half zombie, half human love in the back of a car.
No. This was too far.
It was.
This was like the movie should have ended.
Not only was that too far, they had to take it further by having Zomdog walk up, watch, and like almost applaud,
almost like, oh, it's beautiful. It's like, no, Zomdog, it's not. I'm glad to see you're okay and you survived the tank.
I don't know if I was. I was really I was kind of hoping they would have left him alone.
Left him dead.
He deserved it at that point.
He really did.
Poor guy.
Oh my God, the movie should have ended 5 minutes before this.
I agree.
I stopped on my second watch through. I stopped. I was like, nope, I'm not watching the necrophilia scene at the end. I'm done.
Did not need to be there.
They're just
totally sex with a zombie for
one last. We're gonna really fuck with him now.
But yeah, that's it, guys. That's that movie. That is Dead Snow 2.
Red versus Dead.
Our beer again today. 3 Floyds. Zombie Ice. Again, no surprises here. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. Loved it. Almost done with it.
Just as good as the first one, A Zombie Dust, obviously. I don't know what else to say about it.
This one's a little more citrusy.
You said it was a little bit more bitter on that first bite.
Yeah, but once you get past it, it's great. That first initial shock. All right, so
next movie, next drink.
Next drink.
What are we having? What's our clue for everybody here, Bo?
Next one, the clue we're going to have from Great Lakes Brewing Company, Nosferatu Imperial Red IPA.
Now, the only thing... As you guys know, I've been trying to help out a little bit by giving a little bit of extra on these clues here. The only thing I'll say about this one that I don't know if it's actually going to be a helpful clue, but the only extra I'll give on this one is that don't be surprised, because again, I'm sure you're just going to hear it and automatically be like, oh, that's obvious. There might be a little bit of a twist.
Yeah.
There might be a twist. You might be surprised. There might still be something there.
There might be something unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, there we go. So,
I think that's good.
Are we good?
That's everything, man.
All right, we done? Why don't you go ahead and cancel that flight to Norway for me, would you?
My man likes fish now.